Well, thank you so much for having me this evening. My name is Phaith Frazier. I'm a 19 blah 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 graduate of Pell City High School. I was fortunate enough to play on the second girls basketball 5A state championship team. I received my bachelor's from the University of Montevallo. I, along with my husband and business partners, founded the Eventful Media Group, which is based here in Pell City. I have a professional background that has, fortunately enough, taken me all over the world, but primarily began in radio. So I have a media background. I've worked in professional sports, leading marketing teams. I am a member, an active member of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, and have a heart for service and doing things in the community. I'm very passionate about giving back and ensuring that impact is made. I am married, as I mentioned. My husband is a computer science tech guy, but he is also an Air Force veteran, and I'm very happy to be here tonight to have the opportunity to speak with you.
Thank you. Please describe the role of a local school board member as you understand it, and why are you the best person to fill this position?
Well, thank you for your question. What I understand a local school board member, first and foremost, they are here to serve. They're stewards for public education. They also set policies that ensure that students have an opportunity for equitable and quality education. Some of the things that I believe that they oversee are things like curriculum, making sure that they are allocating budget, facility management, and also supporting the teachers. And on top of that, ensuring that they maintain transparency and being a bridge to the community. Second part of that question, what I believe that makes me the best person for this role, I'm from Pell City. I have deep local roots. I love the place. I'm proud to say that I'm from here. But more than that, because of my travels, I've been able to gain and garner a global perspective that I think that can offer some different tools and different set of skills that I've seen be successful in other places. I've also worked in higher education. I've been an admissions counselor and also worked with the minority student scholarship program at my university, so at the University of Montevallo. And one thing that I was able to see was that students have struggles with college preparation, but also I was able to see some of the equity gaps. One thing that I didn't mention is that I had an opportunity to teach overseas, so I taught English as a second language in South Korea. And one thing that was just amazing, besides the experience, was that you are able to reach students that have different ways of learning. And it's amazing to see the things that they are grasped with, you are able to adapt. And so those are some of the things that, I know that I'm able to bring to the table. On top of that, I mentioned that I am a business owner, and so I bring a business acumen firmly rooted in marketing. And so being able to know how to strategically plan, but also understand how to allocate resources and things of that nature, and also making sure that positive lights are shed on what people are doing. And then lastly, I would say that I do have a commitment to service. I think it's very important to acquire skills and acquire training, acquire some successes, and be able to reach back and replant the seeds that were planted in you. And so I think that that's what could potentially make me a great member of the Pell City School Board.
Thank you. What are the most significant issues our school district is currently facing? And how will you propose the district address these challenges?
Well, some significant issues that I believe that I would address. First and foremost, Pell City has done well in terms of state scores, and they're ranked very well. But all that says to me that there is room for improvement. You know, I guess we're sitting at a B level right now. But I see that there's potential for improvement and acceleration and enrichment opportunities that will drive the students to be successful. But I think that we can do those things through things like differentiated instruction. We can implement early intervention programs, as well as expand academic coursework. And some of the things that I think that can be, come from that, and what I mean by differentiated instruction, through my travels and some of the opportunities that I've had, I've been able to see where students internationally are prepared much younger. They even give aptitude testing, so that students already have, when they're younger, a trajectory towards a career. So they know already that they, are strong in mathematics, or they're strong in medicine, or they're strong in media even. And so I believe that, issues can be raised, but you can also intersect those and provide those opportunities. The other thing is, I've seen where AP coursework is sitting at a modest level. But what AP coursework does is prepare more intensive studying opportunities for kids to excel faster, but also prepare them, so that they aren't left behind when they leave the school system. And I just think that, with the opportunities for technology and where it sits right now, with technology and the introduction of AI, we could definitely address ways to make sure that our students are not relying on AI, but they are at the point of being able to adapt to it and be ready for it when they excel to the next level.
The Alabama State Department of Education scored Pell City schools an 80 in 2022, an 81 in 2023, and an 83 in 2024. What are your thoughts on this trend and the trajectory of the school system overall?
Well, with the uptick, that shows that there is dedication. That shows that there is commitment to excelling, and by there continuing to be an increase, that means that the students and the teachers and the administration, they're working hard to make sure that those things are solid. And it is a solid foundation that you can build upon, but I think that looking at some of the systems that are in place and discovering where it's working, why it's working, what things can be taken from that as far as data goes to spread system-wide. I think that is something that is you can see by doing deep dives, and that's important for understanding and staying committed to making sure that those things increase. Also, I would say that you should look at the real wins and the real successes to make sure that not only test scores are looked at, but you also go further than that to see what college enrollment looks like, to see how many students are going to college, and then also see how many students are prepared for careers and where they're going. So you can judge the work and the opportunities for improvement better. And then I think what's most important to that is understanding if students are satisfied. if they're getting everything that they need. And you can do that, easily by talking to them. Include them in what you're doing, and as a board member, being able to have open dialogue with students to be able to judge whether or not those goals and things are met. And then, I believe that by doing those things and being open and engaging with the community and continuing to make sure that you narrow in on those opportunities to microscope things, that those scores will continue to increase.
Thank you. Does anyone have any follow-up questions?
You mentioned early intervention programs.
Mm-hmm.
Is that like for elementary school, or give me an example of what you mean by that? Are we doing that now, or is that something you'd like to see happen?
Well, it's something that I definitely know that could happen. I've seen it be successful. As I mentioned, internationally, students are scored and tested when they're young. So they know what they want to do. And I think, with so many distractions that can come into the lives of children, having a clear focus is important for not only the success of a school system, but also a success for the products that are produced in society. And so what I mean by, early intervention is to offer those testing opportunities to make sure that students are exposed to the very best education. And so, in the classroom, if it looks like, if every classroom looks different, because you are providing ways for kids to be successful in their strong areas, I think that is what would help them to be successful through the long term of their educational career.
Do you start that early?
I believe you start that early. I've seen it started early, as early as elementary school.
That's all.
Anyone else?
You mentioned several times you have seen things from a global perspective.
Mm-hmm.
What are some other things that you would like to implement, or that you would think would be vital or important to the school, besides the early testing, that you have seen on a global scale that you think should be implemented?
Well, one thing I would say, other places, and I don't want to be, I'm going to be general in my answer. Entrepreneurship. It is a way that talent remains. It is a way to develop a talent pool so that people don't want to leave and come back. If you do it that way, it impacts immediately economic, it has an immediate economic impact. So I would say, focus on students having the opportunity to not only grow to fill jobs after they leave here, but they create them so that they remain in Pell City to not only take advantage of the growth potential that Pell City has, and it is having, you see it, but they want to create those opportunities for the trajectory of the goals and standards that are set. So you can't necessarily, think about short term, prepare students for the long term so that they are providing other opportunities 10, 20 years down the line. And Pell City continues to grow, so it doesn't stagnate when they graduate.
Any more questions? Okay. How should the Board of Education effectively communicate with parents and the community? What steps will you take to establish and maintain trust in the board?
And I'm using notes, so I apologize. but I wanted to make sure that I was thoughtful in what I say and what I prepare. First thing I would say, trust is built on, number one, consistency. It's built on transparency, and it's also built on being engaging. You build relationships. Folks trust you if they know you. But more importantly, when it comes to the board, I believe that having clear expectations, but also clear explanations for the things that are done is uber important. You also want to be inclusive of everybody, the community, from students to parents to business owners. You want to be inclusive because I believe that the school system has a direct impact and correlation with growth. And if they're working in sync, then you know that something is being done correctly. More importantly, I believe that do what you say and say what you're gonna do. If promises are made, keep your promises. Make sure that timelines are realistic when you make those promises, but and then if they're not, be transparent about it. Tell the people what's going on so that, when decisions are made or things are adjusted, there's not a curveball. And then also on top of that, people don't feel like that they've been left out. So I really just believe that, like I said, consistency, being transparent, being engaging, being seen, being open, having open dialogue is very, very important to building trust.
Okay. What is your perception of our school district's current working and learning environment? Do you have ideas on how to ensure and maintain a positive environment?
I do. Number one, to maintain a positive environment, I think you have to celebrate. You have to celebrate wins, and that just doesn't mean, going back to the time when I was in school a long time ago, we won a state championship. That's great. It was something that's stamped in history, but the school system was strong. I'm a product of a home where my mother was a teacher in the school system, and by that, I know that my instruction and education was solid. So number one, I would say continue to remain positive. You have to celebrate those wins. Put it all out there. So from athletics to the arts to academic achievements, I think that you have to put that out there. I would also say you have to listen more. So allowing for regular check-ins with the student body, regular check-ins with the administration. You have to make sure that people have an easy way to speak up in these situations. And then also, on top of it, I think that it's been mentioned before, but mental health is very important. And so you want to make sure that there's a balance in terms of, making sure that work and play works simultaneously, because you can't have success if you're frustrated and stressed all the time.
Ms. Frazier, thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate you being here tonight, and this concludes your interview.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.